So anyway, you will be getting two stories in one video, just like the title said, obviously, because I don't false advertise. I don't think so. Anyway, and they are both about my crippling fear of seagulls. Right, I have a crippling fear of seagulls. Hello everybody and welcome back to Accidental TV. I haven't been on for the past 1.5, maybe, because I was at camp meeting, which is basically just this big revival where not everybody from the Church of God, like about maybe 500 people from the, probably more than that, I don't know how many people, Church of God meet in the Waimama Convention Center at the beginning of summer, and it's just basically 5 days of preachers just preaching and just having, basically it's a convention for religious people, so that's where I was at, and I didn't really have the time to make videos, and I just kind of fell out of the habit trying to get back into it, so I took another week off just out of pure laziness, but I'm back and I just wasted a minute of your time, so I'm sorry. This all stems back to when I was about 9 years old, and I was at, excuse me, I was at the beach with my mom, my aunt, and my grandma, and I think it was on siesta, and there were a bunch of seagulls there, and I had some leftover Cheez-Its, so I was just throwing them out to the seagulls, and they were getting fed, and they were like swarming around me. I didn't really notice it. And I ran out of seagulls, so I was like, okay, throw away the box, and then just went back to where I was sitting, which was right by where I fed the seagulls, which was not a smart idea. So as I went there, the seagulls, I guess, recognized me and wanted Cheez-It, so I shoot them away. Then, this sounds like I'm making something out of nothing, but it was terrifying. All I see a big cloud in the sky that is moving very fast, but I noticed it is not a cloud. It is a flock of seagulls coming for my Cheez-Its. Sounds dirty. Uh, so they're just coming rapidly, and they're just like no, just trying to get my Cheez-Its. Again, this sound. So anyway, they are, and then they start like dive bombing me, like their beaks are trying to penetrate my head, because I guess they think my head has more Cheez-Its in it. I don't even know, but they're just like swooping down and like pecking at me, and like I feel like their wings, and seagulls aren't the most like doesn't really have a reputation for being like non-disease. Uh, d- uh, it's not really. I'm trying to find the word for this. They don't have a reputation for not having diseases. They are basically the equivalent to rats. They are flying rats, which is terrifying. And they are all around me, and their feathers are just like hitting my head, and I'm only thinking of how many diseases I have. And remember, I'm 9, so I am terrified, and I am running as fast as I can to try to get away from these seagulls, but the seagulls are faster. So I run, and they just stop and go the other way, but I didn't realize that, so I'm just running, you know what I mean? And I run back to my family, and I'm like stumbling, trying to like grab a hold of the sand to pull me forward, and they are laughing. I'm just like, no, no, they're after me, and I haven't realized that they're all that way, and they've disbanded. But I still hear them because they're really loud. So they're just like off in the distance, but it sounds like right in my ear. So they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "The seagulls. What seagulls?" And I look up, and there's no seagulls left, and they are absolutely dying. I mean, like, my 60-something-year-old grandmother is on the sand in the beach rolling around because of my reaction just running away from them. So, that was so if you're ever with me and see me like run away from a bird that looks remotely like a seagull, that's why. The second happened about a couple months ago at theater. I don't remember the name of it. Carmack something. Uh, so, uh, I don't even want to share this. So, I was walking out with my friend who shall not be named, and my other friend who shall not be named, and I was walking out with popcorn, and I, the bonehead that I am, accidentally dropped some popcorn, but I don't know what seagulls were doing there, but they were just hanging out nowhere near the beach, and they started just swarming. So, I see some start to fly over my head, and of course, I get flashbacks that, to that time at the beach when I was 9. Uh, so I just lay the popcorn down, and I'm just starting to run away. Like, no, I ain't dealing with this. So I guess the seagull saw the popcorn and start descending on the popcorn, but it's like rolled up, so they can't really get to it. So my friend has to like go in this sea of seagulls. See what I did there? Sea of sea. Stop it. So he's like trying to dodge, and I'm just running away towards. I run past the car. I didn't even notice the car. I'm just trying to get as far as away from those guys. And meanwhile he's getting pecked in the head and seagulls, and he finally saves the popcorn. And I posted it on my Snapchat as I'm in the car safe. He starts throwing popcorn out the window to scare me to make. And seagulls start like hitting the windshield like with their body, and I thought it's gonna break, and I start having a panic attack. And I'm just like, stop it, stop it, stop it. And what came in the car, and my heart literally, it felt like it stopped. Like, you know that feeling of weightlessness you get, like when you're scared or whatever? I had that, but times 10. I'm like, and my other friend, not the one who's throwing out the popcorn, he's freaking out because he's a little wimp. Uh, I'm just kidding. Well, for the purpose of storytelling, so he's like, ah, cause it's right near him, and he looks like, oh, and he's not scared of anything. The guy who's throwing out the popcorn, he just takes the seagull and pushes out the car like it's nothing, and I'm like, you touched the seagull. So yeah, so the birds just finish up what they're doing over there, and we just ride off. So that's why I have a crippling fear of seagulls.